Okay, modelers, so today we're going to do a bit of an in-box review of our Italeri kit here, the Bigfoot. Now this is one of those really cool looking trucks. Being an older kit, it's probably not the best kit in the world, but it gives you the basics to start from. And this is one of those really awesome looking trucks. And there is quite a few different versions of this, and I've seen people do conversions and different things, so there's a lot of options with this kit as to what you can do with it. Now when I build this kit, it's probably going to be straight out of box. I like to do a lot of my stuff out of box. I don't like to spend a lot of money on aftermarket stuff, so this one here will be pretty much straight out of box. So as you can see, the box art is quite nice, and looking at the door here, there's a bit of a chalk outline. This is one of the things that stuck out to me that would have been written in actual chalk in real life, and there's probably a decal in there to do that. I'd rather do that with actual, like a white pencil or something like that. It's just one of those things I look at as a modeler. I sort of look at the box art and go, okay, that'll be a decal and we can do that different. It's just one of those things I sort of picked up straight away. I can see that sort of smudged, and you know, I've had a rain, bit of dust, and people getting in and out the door, things would have been smudged. So that's something I'm probably going to do. If it's a decal, I will do that in white pencil, and I'll show you how to do that as we go through. But as you can see, the actual picture on the box, very, very nice. Nice looking vehicle. Big tough looking rig, and you can see one here that's been built up on the side with a camo pattern on it. Now again, you're going to have options with this. If you look at photos on the internet, some had camo, some just in the plain green. I've even seen them in the UN colours, just in the white and stuff like that. But it gives you an idea of what the actual vehicle looks like looking at the box. Now we'll go through the instructions. Now obviously on the first page here, like most of these kits, it's got a little bit of information on the actual vehicle itself in different languages, and then we go straight into our sprue call out here and up here as well, and then we start putting the chassis together. Now this is the main thing with most vehicles like this, trucks and stuff like that, trailers and all that sort of thing. The chassis is the first thing you start working on. Chassis, gearbox, drivetrain, stuff like that, your diff housings, all that sort of thing. Now this is one of those things, guys, you put them together, you don't have to do it really neat if people aren't going to see underneath of it, and especially if you're going to throw a lot of mud and stuff up underneath there. It's not going to matter if you sort of make a few mistakes underneath there. And with Italeri kits, I've had a few problems with them. You're putting those together and it just doesn't sit flat, doesn't sit right, stuff like that. A lot of times they're just not quite, you know, it's not like a Tamiya kit when you put it together. There's a little bit of rough housing and stuff going on, but we'll look at the pieces when we go through and try and judge it as best we can. Then we're looking at the suspension works here, the springs, they're in one piece, which is good. I have seen these things go together in pieces, which is a nightmare, because then you've got a seam down the middle, even worse than the ones that's going to be there. I know there will be one there, but if you've got to put two pieces together, it's even worse. We've got our drive shaft there, diff housings, things like that. They go together in two pieces, but that's normal, mainly for these kits. A bit more suspension work. We've got our sump guard, fuel tanks, things going on there. Then we've got our fuel tanks for the side. Looks like exhaust going on over here. All our fuel tanks going on. Now our tyres, obviously our tyres and rims are in two pieces stuck together. So there's going to be a seam up the middle. Now there's a plus and a minus for these things. These are plastic, but it gives you the option to be able to clean that seam up really easy. If they're rubber over a plastic rim, the rubber can be a little bit harder to clean up. These things will be a little bit easier to clean up, but rubber just looks way more authentic when you weather them up. But we can work around that and we can make them look good anyway. Then we've got our bonnet, the sides of our bonnet housing going on, stuff like that, engine housing, the cab going in. All the interior stuff here is very basic, guys, so I don't expect a lot with this. Looks like our instrument panel is raised panels that you paint, which is really, really good. I love to have that option in there, because decals over a flat panel just don't cut it for me. I'd rather have the raised option and try and paint the detail in myself. Then we got our machine gun housing, like the nest going on there. The machine gun goes together in what, four parts there. Exhaust stack going on. Then we starting to look into the back. Now the back is one of those things you can leave it open with the canopy off to show the back off, which is probably what I will do, because you can never ever get the canvas ribbing to look properly unless you do it yourself. But I'll sort of see that as I go together. Got a tailgate going on there, doors going together in a few different pieces. Obviously they'll be painted separate before you put them together. Then the whole structure of the truck going together there. And then we've got our call outs here for our colours, plain version and our camo version, and your colour call outs down the side here. So it's a fairly basic kit, guys, but that's what you expect from something a little bit older like this. We've got our decal call outs as well, which there's not a lot of decals on this, but there's enough to make a difference. Don't leave them off, they will make the difference. The kit itself, now I've actually have seen one of these built up in real life, and the glass is actually quite nice compared, like with an old kit. It's quite nice. They're not cloudy or distorted or anything like that. They're not too thick, and they do look actually quite nice. And I can see through that packet there, everything's looked quite nice. Got your windscreen, side windows, and your headlight housings as well. Next one here. Now this is what I was talking about. This just looks too uniform. The creases are all in the same places and all that sort of thing. Now I've seen someone go to the bother of cutting all that part off and then using tissue paper over the framework to make it look more realistic, and it does look beautiful, but it's a hell of a lot of work. I probably will use the option of having that not even on there, just have the open tray with a lot of stowage in the back of it. The tyres look beautiful, beautiful tread pattern in there, but again they're going to be stuck together in two parts. You're going to have a seam down there to clean up, and the tread looks like they're brand new tyres, so you're going to have to sort of sand them down a little bit to make them look like they've been worn a little bit. The machine gun, nice big long machine gun there, beautiful sort of mouldings going on. I'm just going to pull my glass down. There's no flashing. There is a seam line like normal up the middle of these things. You'll have to clean up, but it's actually quite nice. Ammunition box there for the ammunition feed going to the side of the gun. But very nice, guys. The detail on this is actually really quite nice for an older kit. And there's no flashing that I can see. You know, like the flashing that's there is very, very minute. It's mainly just seam lines up the middle of things that you're going to have to worry about cleaning up. Our next sprue here, flip it over, we've got our bonnet. Oh, some beautiful detail on there. I was hoping they had these on there. These are your rubber grommets that go over and pull down, the hatches go down, pull down and hold your bonnet down, and your spare tyre on the bonnet when they put it up there. That's really nicely detailed. Everything I see here, all the detail that's moulded in is really, really nice, guys. There's nice rivet detail, bolt heads, things like that. That you don't have to add because they're already there. Looking at some of the interior stuff, like the main stick here, that has got a little bit of flash on it. It'll have to be cleaned up, but you know, it's not excessive. Our seats are nice. They got that you know, like that textured look to them. Plus, you've got the creases and stuff like that. Again, you can put tissue paper over this, pat it down, and it looks even more realistic. But that is actually really quite nice, guys. Very nice. And we're looking at instrument panel here with our gauge housings. Now there's no actual like gauge needles or anything like that in there, but being inside this with the door shut, you're not going to see that anyway unless you really, really look in there. But that, I'd prefer that to a flat panel with a decal over it. Very, very nice. Some very, very fine detail going on here. These are like little U-hooks and stuff like that. I take it they'll go off the bumpers, but very, very fine. You have to be very careful cutting them away from the screw without breaking those. That's something you're going to be very careful of when we do this build. But all the injector seam marks seem to be on the inside of everything. There's nothing that's going to be too obtrusive. Our wooden panels here, very nice. Again, some texture built into that. All our tie-down hooks are on there. Grill for our radiator is nice. Our springs, our leaf build-up for our springs is beautiful. Very, very fine. It's not like 4 or 5 big thick springs down there. That's actually quite a nice build-up. Very, very nice actually for an older kit. Diff housing, stuff like that, gearbox housings. This all looks very, very nice. Hubs for our wheels. Grab handles are nice, but again, they're fairly fine. When you cut these away, you have to be very, very careful. Now the floorboards for the back, which are over here, as you can see, there is some nice wooden texture there. So once you paint these, put a little bit of a wash over it, they're going to look absolutely gorgeous. A bit of wear and tear, stuff like that. Tailgate again, some nice texture, nice wooden housings, very, very nice. But I can see these finer parts here with the mirror holders and stuff like that have got some flash going on, which will have to be cleaned off. And because they're so delicate, these parts, cutting them away and cleaning them up is going to be a little bit of a chore. But just take your time, a bit of patience, they will come up nice. It's one of those builds, guys, it's not like the top of my list, but it's one of those ones I'm really, really looking forward to doing. mainly because I just love the look of this vehicle and just the interest to see how well this thing goes together. But anyway guys, that's about it for the inbox review, and like always, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you in the next video.